My friends, this is Dr. B, the best doctor in medicine. Dr. B has been in medicine for 30 plus years. Dr. B is here today to talk to you about how overpopulation, too many people, is preventing, is impeding a holistic approach to medicine. It is a disaster. It is a disaster, guys. Right now, August 2025, and I came to this beautiful state of California where I live right now many years ago, right? From Europe. I'm originally from Europe and the Middle East. I'm kind of mixed, but I did all my schooling and medical school, everything in Europe, and I came to California, this once beautiful state of California many years ago. It is crazy, guys, how during the last 20 years, the state of California has become overpopulated. Massive amount of people, especially immigrants, I would say undocumented to be polite, whether you call it undocumented or illegal, it's okay. I'm not here to talk politics. I'm a doctor. So let's move on regarding illegal or undocumented. 10 million during the last 20 years. 10 million undocumented or illegal immigrants have entered California, right? 10 million, right? They were allowed in, they were applauded, and they brought these people. And they never thought, these politicians who have been governing California from Sacramento for the last decades, they never thought about what kind of medical care are we going to get when we bring so many millions and millions and millions of people in California, this once beautiful state. I still remember the days when any time of the day, night, afternoon, lunch, blah, 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 anytime, weekend, weekdays, you could just take your car and drive anywhere you wanted. There was absolutely no traffic. There was absolutely no rush hour. I still remember these good old days when gasoline in California was below $3. Now it's like crazy. It's just crazy. I think it was even below $2. I apologize. It was below $2 when I came here. Now think about it. It almost reached $5 just a few months ago, when my mortgage was so cheap. Everything was super cheap. California was the land of plenty. You could see a doctor, plenty for food, plenty for real estate, plenty for everything, right? You could go see a doctor anytime you wanted. It would not take you forever to get an appointment. It would not take you forever to see a specialist. It would not take you forever to have a basic surgical procedure, right? It was such a beautiful place to be, right? At those days. Those days, the population was probably half of what it is now. Just think about it, and I repeat again, during the last 20 years, in addition to the natural growth of the population, 10 million people, illegal, undocumented people, aliens, came to California. Well, this has translated in a massive overcrowding of our cities, massive overpopulation, massive rise of cost of living, because the more people you have, the more competition for food, for parking, for rentals, for homes, for apartments. The more people you have, the more consumption. Therefore, the more production of garbage, the more production of of CO2, the more production of waste, the more production of poop, urine that you need to recycle and clean, blah, blah, blah. So the more infrastructure you need, the more consumption of electricity, water, blah, blah, blah. So the higher the population of any country or state or city, right, the higher the amount of competition for natural resources for water, for electricity, for food, for real estate, for everything, right? And of course, the higher the rise of crime and criminals, right? It's a vicious circle, right? Because then you need to construct more jails. You need to have more lawyers, more prosecutors, more judges, more police officers, blah, blah, blah. It just never ends. You need to build more homes, but there's no more room to build homes except in the desert, right? We cannot build homes in the ocean in California, right? I live in the once beautiful city, but now super expensive and super crowded city of Mountain View. You cannot build homes in the forest, in the ocean, right? You cannot build homes on the mountains, in the Sierra Nevada, because we want to keep it nice and clean. You cannot build homes in the deserts because people don't want to live in the desert, and we need to leave the desert a desert for the habitat, right? Deserts are part of our national patrimony, national heritage, the same way as mountain, ocean, forests are part of our landscape. Deserts are the same. We cannot go in the deserts and build more homes and cities in the desert, because then we become like Las Vegas, Nevada, a disastrous city that is now going down the drain, that is lacking water, electricity, blah, blah, blah. You cannot build a city in the middle of a desert. You need the desert to stay a desert and leave it alone. So all these people that they have brought, right, for the last 20 years, in addition to the natural increase in the population, have also drained our healthcare system. Means now, in order to see a simple family doctor, you need to wait forever. The cost of your insurance is going up. The cost of your healthcare is going up. The cost of seeing a doctor is going up. The cost of your medication is going up, right? Everything. And then once you see a family doctor and he thinks that you need to see a specialist, then it takes another 6 months to see a specialist. Then you need to get approval from your insurance company and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. It is crazy how this overpopulation has changed medicine. So because of this overpopulation, doctors are no longer seeing you as a different person than the other patient, right? They are putting everybody in the same bag, treating everybody the same. They have abandoned this holistic approach to medicine. They want to quickly see you 5 minutes in the exam room, give you a prescription medication quickly, and kick you out to go in the other room so that they can see another patient. Because they have to see a lot of patients, because so many people have to be seen. In addition, the doctor doesn't care anymore. He wants to make a lot of money to pay for his Ferrari, Lamborghini, his villa in Mexico, his other home mansion in Florida, and blah, blah, blah. So they have lost this holistic approach to medicine, in which the doctor would sit down and listen to the patient and not necessarily retort to medication prescription and get rid of the patient in 5 minutes to go see another patient quickly, right? They have abandoned this concept of custom-made, tailored medicine, tailored to you, to your individual needs, right? Because you're different than somebody else. They will prescribe the same medication, the same dosage to everybody who has supposedly the same signs and symptoms, right? They will never refer you to a psychotherapist or to a psychologist, right? Or to a sleep specialist if you're suffering from insomnia. He or she is gonna quickly prescribe you some sleep medicine, get rid of you, see you in another 6 months and see another patient. All they care about is seeing the more patients in a given day, usually 25, 30, 35, 40 in one day, to make a lot of money and to get rid of this backlog of patients. So on the one side, you have too many people who need medical care, right? And on the other side, you have these greedy medical professionals who want to see a lot of patients to make a lot of money. The two together, right? They have destroyed this once beautiful medicine that used to be holistic, and which is no longer holistic. The holistic approach to disease, the holistic approach to the patient was the foundation of Western medicine, right? When Western medicine in the Renaissance period started to evolve and to become a branch of science. Before the Renaissance, right, the 15th century, 16th century, right, somewhere between the 15th, 1.5, and 16th, 1.6 century, in Europe, Italy, came the Renaissance, right? And medicine at that time became a science, right? Before that, medicine was not a science. It was, a skill and art, blah, blah, blah. But it became a science that was founded on the scientific evidence, on the scientific proof, right? So, at that time, of course, the holistic approach to medicine was extremely important, but recently has been lost in every country, even in Europe, where I'm from, even in the Middle East, where I'm half from, even in Europe, where I'm half from, right? Every country in Europe, this holistic approach has disappeared, because over there is the same. They are under massive pressure, immigration pressure, and overpopulation, population growth. And everywhere, every country, whether it's Canada, US, every state of our beautiful USA, where the population is growing, you see a massive strain on natural resources, on water, electricity, housing, food, massive generation of pollution, massive waste, because the more you consume, the more people there are in a house, the more garbage they're going to produce, the more electricity they're going to use, right? The more freaking water they're going to use, right? And the more garbage they're going to produce, because they're going to eat and blah, 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 and blah, blah. They're going to poop, they're going to pee. Massive amount of garbage and waste is produced as the population increases. And in addition to that, of course, the strain to the medical field, that massive strain has put stress not only on patients who do not get what they deserve, but also on the healthcare teams, the doctors, the nurses. Everybody's stressed out. Everybody wants to see the patients quickly make their money, make their cut, get the hell out of there. They don't care anymore about you. They don't put you as a different individual than the other patients, right? Whether you're a male or a female or any age, they will put you in the same basket, give you the same treatment, same medication, same something. It is just nasty. And guess what? If you think that it's going to get better later on, guess what? It's going to get worse and worse and worse and worse, because the population in America is growing. No, don't forget, we are now almost 350 million people, right? We are the third most populous country on earth. Number one is India, 1.5 billion people. Number 2 is China, 1.4 billion. Number 3 most populated country on earth is America, USA. We are almost 350 million people. And they say in 10 years we're going to be 400 million. It's going to get even worse and worse and worse. More competition for food, more competition for housing, more competition for water, more competition for electricity, more competition for doctors, more competition for medical care. It is just crazy. And of course, more pollution, more waste, more consumption of wood, of water, of electricity, of everything. So all these clowns that tell you that the more populated we are, the better it is, I recommend that they go to India and see what overcrowding and overpopulation does to destroy your country in terms of pollution. I went to India twice. The first time I went, I stayed the whole length of my trip, which was about 3 weeks, because it was my first time. And the second time that I went, after 1 week, I decided to leave because I just couldn't breathe the air. It was just it's crazy. Unless you go and live in India and see with your own eyes, you will never understand what I'm talking about when I talk about overpopulation destroying a country. Never forget that the more people, the more destruction of your country. Guys, I love you. Regardless of your gender, ethnicity, color of your skin, race, politics, Democrat, Republican, Independent, whether you're a male, female, anything in between, black, white, Latino, Asian, black, Muslim, Hindu, Buddhist, Jewish, anything, atheist, Christian, I love you. I give you a big hug. Dr. B graduated from medical school and took the Hippocratic Oath more than 30 years ago. I promise that I will never put my own interest above yours. I will always put your interest above mine. Put your comments, your question, any catso you want to ask down there. I promise I will get back to you. I love you. I give you a big hug and hope to talk to you next video. Bye-bye.